Okay, so that was Murray Spivack teaching me back. What's that? I can, yeah. You couldn't make that out? Well, we'll see. We'll see if it comes out on the recording via Skype. But let me take you through essentially what he was talking about. And it almost feels like it was yesterday. And yet that was back maybe 1988 or something? Somewhere around there, 1989, like that. And yeah. So what Murray was explaining to me was that it wasn't someone who came along and showed him how to play traditional. And maybe I need to take that back. It was like yesterday, because I can't remember if he preceded that conversation with his development in matched. But you can see what he's talking about has to do with this grip. What he said that was really important, and it really does apply to you. It's perfect. Okay, it's a great jumping off point. And that is that he studied with a teacher, and he said predominantly he couldn't find a teacher who didn't teach this way. That's what he said. But that the teacher had him holding with the thumb and keeping the other two fingers off, right? The rabbit's ears.
Yes.
Right? And he said, and my thumb would cramp up, and when I went to, he didn't use the word rotate, but when I went to rotate, I didn't know so I can't even play that way, where the hell the stick was going to go. I didn't, and so I went to him and I said, well, can I put my first finger? And he said, well, if that works for you, that's fine. And he said, and what I recognized, and I think that was him playing, perhaps. So you actually hear Murray playing, making taps on a pad. I think that was him, not sure. Now my pad isn't in traditional, but here. And so he asked, could I put my first finger on the teacher said, sure. And he said, right away, I realized that I had control, that the stick wouldn't go flying any old place. But his main point was, the teacher asking me to play this way, he said, I don't walk around with my hand like this. This is important. We talked about this. I don't walk around with my hand like this. Why would I play that way? And you didn't hear it, but he said that he was studying physics. And he went and studied each instrument, by the way, also, he mentioned. So he was studying physics, and he realized that even what they were teaching him wasn't the God's honest truth. So you can see Murray was was someone who could think for themselves, a very intelligent guy, brilliant guy. And he said, I don't walk around like this. He said, I walk around like this. I walk around like this. Right? I've talked to you about that. Just leaving everything alone. This is a Richard Martinez concept of you're trying to do as little as possible. Why would you do something? The clever mind getting in the way of what's more natural. So Murray talked about that he walks around like this. And therefore, when you walk around like this, see the first fingers on the stick. Imagine that. And it worked out much better. Now the stick didn't go flying around all over the place, and his thumb didn't cramp up. Right? And so, as well, he talked about being a natural when it came to playing jazz. He didn't necessarily like teaching students who were only playing dance music. He made that point. And so that's fascinating stuff. And it's neat to re-listen to it because every time you read something, thinking that you understood it, if you reread it, you find that you just might get something else. You get one thing, it's by reading it more than once, right? Or watching something more than once, or listening to something more than once, right? It's not redundant necessarily, so it's really neat to listen to that. I don't know if anyone out there could hear that, but you couldn't. So, but I hope that you heard the resonance of his voice and probably him tapping on the pad, which is enough.
It sounded better when you had the tape player back there, close to that monitor. It sounded. I could hear Murray's voice.
I mean, when I didn't have the what do you call it? The beatbox here on my pad.
Yes, when you put it on your pad and you played it, it was distorted from my end.
Well, let's make a distinction. When I first put it on the pad, it wasn't plugged into the main speakers. So did it sound better then?
Yes, yes, it did.
Not when it was over there. Okay, got it. Well, maybe we'll figure it out. I'll figure out a way to get that out.
Okay.
But there you hear me being taught by Murray Spivack, you know, circa 1989. And so yeah, so let's we talked about that being a jumping off point. Let's go there. Now, do you have the faint and flam, Andy?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, faint and flat. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of fun while you're looking. It's kind of fun to, you know, kind of search the internet and listen to people speaking in different languages. But you know who they're talking about because, although the language is unfamiliar, you'll hear Spivack. Something, 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 in a language you don't say, Spivack. And it'll be some other language, Spivack. And so there is there's some kind of, you know, there's like an awareness with regards to Murray throughout the world. Very interesting. Okay, so you have the faint and flam, right? Okay. Well, the reason that I think that what Murray Spivack said was such a great jumping off point was because it connects with how you came in. And clearly it's already improved, but you came in with, what did you call it? A plus sign.
Right, right.
You were shown how to hold the stick via, and you were supposed to create a plus sign. Now remember, there's no right or wrong ways to play, and I guess if you want to cramp up your thumb and walk around like this and like this, you can. But it would seem really strange to me, because we don't walk around that way. That's uncomfortable, isn't it? You just feel it. There's tension. You just leave everything alone. That's how you walk around. And then here's another connectivity. Murray talked about, and instead of the first finger and the second finger forming rabbit ears as you clutch with your thumb, he allows the fingers to close in around the stick, and then he talked about them acting as a scissors, like a scissors. I don't know if you can see that, but you can imagine they act like a scissors. And you might not have used that precise analogy with regards to the right, but the right is, you see, the right is opening and closing from the wrist, right? The right opens and closes from the wrist. Ever so tiny, whatever it is, you know, it opens and closes from the wrist, and so does the left, right? If you're not doing this, now it's not going to open and close from the wrist. It's some other thing. And in this hand, you form a plus sign and hold these fingers up front in this way, then you're not going to get the same natural, it's all rigid and tight. The machine won't work. If you leave it alone, the machine works. There you go. Right. Okay? So that's what that's about. Now, we worked on flam, the alternating flam, which involves I'm trying to remember again what word Murray would use, where he was trying to induce, I think, perhaps was the word. He's trying to induce an upstroke, not even telling you, right? But before you knew it, you were making an upstroke to a downstroke, right? And so we know that a flam is one hand high and the other hand low, right? So doesn't Chad Wackerman talk about it? He just holds one up high and the other low, and he lets them drop, and you get a flam, right? He says if you keep doing that, before you know it, look, you're going up and down. It's not an honest to goodness up and down motion if you're leading with your arm. So let's not make that mistake. But it does give you the idea. What we're trying to learn is how to make these motions. And the up and down motion is so important that Murray, out of all the 7 basic strokes, included it because he thought it was such an important aspect of the technique. So he talked about one of the 7 basic strokes being an upstroke, right? Up. And he talked about downstroke. He thought they were so important, he said, but you needed to know both of them. If I get that. Much more used to. Cool. Okay, so we're involving a single stroke eventually. If we play flam slow enough, maybe we're simply waiting and making a throw. As it speeds up, what we end up getting is an up to a downstroke or a single stroke. Okay, so that takes us to the feint and flam. Okay, that would be a natural progression because now we're going to incorporate another note. So it's a little more complex. And they get more and more and more and more complex. And then you're finished. And you're at 208 playing crescendo strokes. So what we want to do, Joe, is, as Richard Martinez taught me, he explained to me how important it is to actually look at the music, right? So that we aren't just playing willy-nilly. We're really identifying what it is we're playing. And with regards to this technique, remember this technique isn't about clenching and abandoning the natural motion of the hand, nor is it about abandoning the natural motion of the hand in the right. It's about leaving it alone so that we can explore or use what Murray identified as up and down strokes. Because now that the hand is relaxed and does what it wants to do, look, I went up. And all I did was allow my hand to open up. Yeah, no, you're holding your fingers together, so it's not quite right. Yeah, why would you? Yeah, the gig is, here you have to hold the hand up, right? You have to hold it up. But that takes a little bit of effort. Now, if you allow, you just open up, you're mimicking it a little bit, I can tell, right? And then when you closed, you mimicked it. You brought your wrist back, but you closed your hand purposefully. See, the magic of this technique is you don't have to do that. When you get this technique, you will learn that things happen by themselves as a result of turning your wrists. A little better, okay? So when we look at the music, the written music, we're not just looking at the notes that we're playing, which is part of the gig as well, but we're looking at how are we going to play them with this technique. So if you look at the faint and flam, what do you see? Go ahead and take a look.
You want me to describe what I see?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I see that the exercise is written in 2/4 time. And preceding that, I see a bass clef. But anyway, that's irrelevant. But anyway, then you've got 2 eighth notes, and you're flamming the second eighth note of the 2. So I obviously I see the eighth note beam to yet another eighth note, and then you've got the appoggiatura, the grace note in between, and the accent on the end of 1. And essentially, in terms of notation, that same thing's occurring in the second half of the bar. But the stick, as far as the sticking is concerned, we're leading with the left hand. And we're playing a left hand flam, and then we're leading with the right hand, followed by right hand flam. And then I see the dynamic markings, the piano and fortissimo, and then I see some nice phonetics there as well that are really interesting. Ta, to la. That'll help you to vocalize and produce the sound that we're after as well. That's cool.
Paradiddle.
Yeah.
We're like Dick Wilson didn't like saying one E and because he thought the notes, the E and the should sound the same. So he would say one and
Oh, wow.
which is a little bit of a drag if you want to say it's on the E of the group of 4/16 note. Now you have to say it's on the first or the second of the group of 4/16 notes. But it was that important that he thought it was worth saying it properly, vocalizing it properly. Okay, so keep going.
And it's a 2-measure exercise, and there's we've got numbers on top, demarcating the pulses 1 and 2. And next to that, there's a little box which contains the phonetics again, the ta, to la, soft, loud.
Like you indicated, some of this is irrelevant, so I don't want to waste your time.
No.
Right, describing every detail that isn't really getting to what I'm looking for. Okay, so what you've left out is the most important thing. So you've described it as appropriately, but that's how any other technique, snare drum technique, would describe it. The difference is, and Dick would always write up to down, and you'll notice on Murray's up and down stroke, it's an exercise, it's indicated, right, with arrows, up,
Yes.
down, up, down. So Dick did it with a curved arrow, up to down, and underneath he'd write UP, DW, up to down, or at a certain point that was understood, or he might write underneath release, squeeze, RESQ. We'll get there. Now, but what this is all about is it's a simple thing, right? It's just it's a note in the left that precedes a left flam, meaning the right is the appoggiatura. And so the gig is that how are you going to play that left? What is that left? Yeah, we know it's an eighth note.
Right.
But in this case, the next left, if you're looking at it, is an accent. And in this technique, we would play it up to down. So you've got a left, and then the left accent is played with the down. And the right is just an appoggiatura. And it goes the other way. So we're playing it a very specific way. Now there are other ways to play it, but that's how Murray would have you play it. That's how Dick Wilson would have you play it. That's how Richard Martinez would have you play Okay, so let me see you without a metronome. Let me see you play this exercise. Play this stroke, the feint and flam. Again, the title says it all, doesn't it? It's a feint and then a flam. So the feint is the quiet note. And
exactly, right.
Pronounced. How are we going to play a quiet note with this technique? And it goes the other way.
Yeah.
Can you play it in time?
Yeah, I'll play the time.
You notice I'm moving less than you are?
Yeah, no, I picked up on that. Yeah, let me try that.
Wish my left was a little. I'm going to start practicing. I'll practice more matched. Okay? It's just that motion. So that means that when we go up in the right, you have this tendency to, you're back to the plus sign. Where your thumb slides forward a little bit instead of just what would a hand do naturally when you're walking down the street or while you're asleep? It's just hanging out. It's not doing this. So when you go up and you push that thumb forward and you make this kind of very big bend, you're out of position. Something isn't right because just do this. Do this for me. Ooh. Yeah. Come down here. Push your thumb forward and bend pretty high. Yeah, see how uncomfortable that is?
Yeah.
And you've got your elbow in, so that makes it, watch, let your elbow out. Don't push it out. Doesn't it want to? If you were to push this down when it pushed the elbow out, yeah, go grab your hand. Don't hurt yourself, but grab it so that you can actually turn it. Doesn't it want to force your elbow out? Turning.
Yeah.
Okay, you see? It's as if there's a bar here, and you're pushing, and it's rotating around some kind of support here. And although some of that's happening, see, you're trying to feel that. Oh, ouch. You're trying to feel something, right? Okay. But we don't. Thank you, Richard Martinez. We're trying not to feel anything, or as little as possible. So stay with me. Take that stick out of your hand again. Okay. You're wondering what to do with your first finger. Nothing. And see, like, what? Just let it all hang again. You see how there is a space that is where the fingers come together up at the top knuckles. We have one knuckle, two knuckles on the third knuckle. There, it looks better. You see how the fingers are further apart as the further away you get from the third knuckle. By the first knuckle, the fingers are most apart. By the third knuckle, they're as close as they can be. The hand, that's where they attach to the hand. Okay, right. So stay with me, yeah. And so if you were to come back, that the first thing you would notice was there would be, if there's some kind of actual mathematical equation to how this wrist would influence through the lever system and all the fulcrums, this being a fulcrum as well, the wrist, as you affect every fulcrum by leaving them alone and moving your wrists. And you would, there you go. See, now you can feel that the third knuckles haven't really, they can't get closer. Your body hasn't been roused, but fingers have come in position, and now they're about as close to each other as down at the first knuckle as they are at the third knuckle. See? And the tiniest bend, probably 1/64th of an inch, you'd immediately feel the tips of the fingers start to come apart. You wouldn't feel much in here, just in the first knuckle. Go ahead, bend a 1/16th of an inch. I immediately feel the fingers start to separate, especially down at the first knuckle. By about here, I can see, watch, see how they're more close? They're all touching, they're all snuggled up. And as soon as I bend, they start to separate. And see you later. I'll see you when we come back. See you later on. The wrist finally decides to turn the hand up towards the ceiling. Right? See, now they're all separate. You bring them, slowly bend the wrist towards the ceiling. Just the wrist. There you go. Nice and there you go. Feel the tips coming in? Tips are coming in. Normally, yes. No, don't pull them in. You pull right there at the end with your baby finger and your ring finger. Just leave them there. Let the wrist tell them what to do. Yeah, come on. They come all the way back. Get a little close, even more. That's about as close. Okay, and then they spread open. So when you show me that you're opening your hand from you're bending from the wrist, and you go like this, I know it's not right. It's all tight. The idea is we feel the relaxation of everything letting go, including the tips of the fingers, because the wrist fulcrum is affecting the third, second, and first knuckle. There you go. Right. Immediately could feel, you can immediately feel that the space of the third knuckles open up. Right there, they're open. Just concentrate on the third knuckles, right up in here. Right in here. Go ahead, just bend forward a little bit. Feel a little air can blow through your hand, up through here. Now close it a little from the wrist. Yep, now it's almost airtight. Or, you could cup and hold water in your hand. Just about. For a while, you finally find a crack to see through, right? In this position, you can't hold water. You just pour right out. As soon as I bend my wrist towards me in this position, my hand opens up and I'm not holding water. Okay. All right. So when you're in that position and everything is relaxed, and you bend just as much, and then really you could actually go in the other direction now. Look, you could even say you've gone up. I saw a little hump in the wrist. The wrist went up. You have to relax your fingers and let the hand do what it wants to do. Then there, you're up now. Now flick the other way. Turn towards the ceiling and let everything go the other way. See how little this moved? So as soon as I turn towards the ceiling, it goes back. It goes like that and like that. That. See? And then this is going to come back. See, it started here. Go like this. It comes back to here. Back to where it started. Better. See, your thumb isn't pushed forward. There you go. It's a little flick. It's a little flick. Yeah, you're not doing all this stuff. It's just a little flick. It's a little flick. And you'll fuck it up. You'll mess it up if you start to point your first finger and do something with your thumb. How are you going to flick anything? The idea of flicking water off in traditional, we flick this way. We need everything to be loose so it can flick. Really obvious here. Right? Wasn't it Gladstone? You'd have you dip your hand in a glass of water and then flick. Come on, don't hold your first finger out in any way. Leave it alone. Let it find how it closes normally. And then just flick. There. Don't do anything in your hand. You'll muck it up. Yeah, it's better. Don't shove. It's a little flick. Okay, so put the stick in your hand. Put the stick in your hand. Okay. See, your thumb's too far. Okay. I'll hip you to this. This is another cool thing that Richard Martinez showed me. Watch. Just let your hand open up. And now we're going to time it so that as the stick moves into the hand, your wrist is going to watch. Your wrist is going to move in sync with the stick coming up towards it. So your wrist is going to start to move towards the at the same speed as the stick moves. Now I'm kind of improvising based on what Richard said, but this is essentially it. Now now watch. Yeah, you're just going to follow it up like that. I don't want to use it. See, so it would just be open like this. No, that doesn't. See, your fingers are too far close together. It's not right. So it won't click. There you go. Shake it out. Let it hang here like this. Let it hang there. Yeah. Now put the stick underneath. Just don't change your hand. Other stick is underneath. And you're just going to close the hand around. As you bring the stick up. It's like you're catching the stick. Watch. Do this. Leave your hand open. No, I'm kind of like sideways now. Yeah, kind of. I'm gonna throw the stick. There, it looks better. See, that's normal. Now it's not all weird. There, better. Okay, or we could just do it like that. Different ways we can do it. You're just allowing the hand in its natural state, like you would you'd walk down the street, like Murray said, and then you're just going to hold the stick in the most normal, natural way and not do anything. Good. Now all we're going to do is just remember we just now we're holding a stick, so it's going to feel a little different. The hand might not feel like it's opening up as much. Don't worry about it. But now what we're going to do is just make this little motion by leaving the bead here. And we're going to put it under your hand. Just take the drum away and stay down nice and low. We don't want you here is that has you holding your arm up. We want to be as close to playing position as possible. See, when my arm is parallel, when my arm is parallel to the floor, I'm over the surface. So you're like sitting really high. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're in there, right? Now bring your stick over. Like the other way. What am I doing?
Well, you brought the stick over to your left hand. That's what you did.
Right. And all you're going to do, see how much more flat I am? How come you're like this? It should be pretty flat. Maybe it's okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So all you're going to do is you're just going to bend and let it touch. There. Now flick. No, you lift it more. Watch. You're up. Now Dick Wilson would have you follow it up. Murray might have you come all the way back to here, right? But really, when things get going, the truth is, see, you're just not flat anymore. Your arm is up in the air. This hand is real low. See, to get this, you want to kind of be like you're playing. Only you're playing on a snare drum that's over here, perhaps, and it's your hand. There you go. Okay. And so you're going to just a ½ inch over your hand, ½ inch or an inch. Okay, right? Like that. Leave everything alone, and let the stick touch your hand. No, I don't want you to go. I want you to just let it drop. Okay. Now flick. There. You don't need to lift up anymore with your arm. It could be that small. Try it again. Right, that's where you'd end up. See, you're not doing anything with your hand. Now turn to the ceiling. There. That's the motion for the faint, essentially, for the faint and flat. See? I get this, and then I get that. Go for it. Don't lift up anymore. You can't lift up anymore. See, Dick would keep going up. Dick would have you go up, and then Murray would complain because students didn't get it. They'd come in maybe like you. Look, I want to. But as I've mentioned to you and to other students, Dick really wanted to make sure you weren't cheating and yanking up the bead. So he'd make a tap. No, just let it fall. No. Remember what you did over here? You're not doing that now. Okay. Now you could leave the bead down and follow it up. Come on, just follow it up a little more by pronating a little more. There you go. You could do that. So your elbow moved a little. You didn't even know it. Now cock your wrist towards the ceiling and let it all collapse. Nah, it didn't all. See, because your arm was not relaxed, not truly following your wrist. It's as subtle as thinking that you've opened up your hand, but your fingers are off. Kind of, but no, it's not it. It just isn't it. Okay, so you really need to be parallel, bead to butt end, right? And you're simply going to make a tap. Make a tap. See, I think you already lifted up your arm. So just go ahead and turn to the ceiling and see if your arm comes back down, and you'll know if you lifted up your arm. Yeah, see? You're really just lifting up your arm. You're lifting up your forearm. And then when you go to turn your wrist to get the arm to come back down to where it was, you have to push it down. See, but if you really just let it go loose, look, I don't want to spend forever on theory. But if we don't, then you're going to be playing like this, because this was built in for years and years and years, this plus sign thing. The opposite of how you'd walk down the street, a hand that was normal. So if okay, let's try it this way. Let's see. Yeah. Just put the bead on the surface. Just touch the surface. And now roll up and leave the bead there. Okay? Can you roll down and leave the bead there? There, see? That came from your wrist. Can you go up without using your arm? Look, you didn't lift your arm. Can you go down without lifting your arm? There. Now, why can't you go up not using your arm? Your hand looks better too. It's just kind of nice and hanging out. This is the normal hand wrapped around the stick. It's the motion that's important. So you're going to put the stick on the surface. This is remedial. And you're going to bend. Stick's just laying in my hand. Just bending up. Okay? And then you're going to come down and leave the bead there. Now you're going to go up. And this time you're going to flick. Right? No, you lift it more. Well, how come it came down here? Okay, let's try this. Put this bead on the surface. Okay. And we're going to roll up. Okay. And now you're going to, instead of coming down and leaving the bead on the surface, I want you to come down and lift the bead up half an inch. No, you lift it up 4 or 5 inches. Half an inch. So it's going to feel more like it did when you did it right and you left the bead on the surface. No, you can put the bead on the surface. It's helping to regulate your motion. Try it again. Put the bead on the surface. Now this time leave the bead on the surface and come down. No, leave the bead on the surface. You don't get to take it up. Now come down, make the motion. Come on down. There you go. Come on up.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Up, I'm down. Down, up, down. Say it with me. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now the arm isn't really going to change because it's reacting to the wrist. It's going up, down, up, down, up. This time you're going to go up, down. Come on, keep the rhythm. Up, down, up, down. No. Just stay with me here. Okay. You're going up and down around this fixed point in the universe. There you go. Right? Almost feels like, you know, a water pump. See, it's attached. It can't go in this direction. It can't come towards you. It can't go out. Right? That's all you need to do to get it to go up and down. And look, your forearm is going up and down, isn't it? And you're just doing it from the wrist. Up, down. Now keeping that rhythm. 1, 2, 3, and then make a strike. Yeah. See, down is going to have to change. Better? Down won't change. This timing will be very similar. Up, down. Now just bring the beat up and time it. No, you went like this. You went up, down, and when you went to make so you stopped here. No, why would it stop? It's going up, down, and when you decide to lift it up, and you're still going to down, up, getting there. You desperately want to overbend. No, don't overbend. You barely need to move. Better. And you desperately want to watch as you get to the top. The only way you can imagine coming down is to lift first. So you get a little of that. But I'm watch. I'm not lifting first. Watch. Now I'm not touching. Now I'm just hovering over the surface. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now I can touch. Down, up, 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 down. Okay, now see if you can play the stroke. It's going to have to seep in. It's getting better.
I have a question, Kevin.
Sure.
Before we talked about, you know, when you play the unaccented note, that upstroke, you want to play with the flat part of the bead. So that's what I was keeping in mind when I played the upstroke, rather than here I'm pronating the hand slightly, and you're going to be playing the stroke with this part of the tip rather than the fat part that you were.
Well, as you noticed, see, you just proved to yourself that hand normal. Don't start doing your thing. Yeah. See, to get it normal, you don't fish around. You don't go fit searching. You leave it alone and let the wrist show your fingers where they should be. There, that's where they should be. Now slide the stick in there and leave it alone. Yeah. Yeah. Slide it in. There. Leave it alone. Okay? And so, as you notice, you can actually put the bead down on the surface. Go ahead. And move around it. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Look, you see? And it's true. If we're making up and down motions, we have Richard Martinez and I have that in the Modern Drummer article, or articles in one of them, and we talk about how on the way up you're playing just a little bit towards the front of the bead, and on the way down you're playing just slightly towards the back of the bead. Okay?
So this is permissible then.
But Dick wouldn't even talk that way, because you're really just you're going for the bottom of the bead. Once you start playing a stroke and you're going back and forth, doesn't it make sense? You have a teeter-totter moving back and forth, right? There's some kind of fulcrum thing happening. And so that would be expressed all throughout the system, including on the bead, right? There's a rocking motion happening on the bead. So, but we're getting into such minutia. The gig is you're going for the bottom of the bead, right? Dick wouldn't get into that. You're going for the bottom of the bead, and you'll notice that when I move around this fixed point in the universe, up, down, up, down, up, down. See, I even feel my hand opening up a little bit. Up, down. So you see what happens? Yeah, watch. Look, kind of, the stick remains fairly flat. I'm not clutching the stick and going up, because now you are going to get the tip.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you allow your hand to do what it will naturally do.
Yeah.
Here, try this. Try this for fun. Put the stick down on the surface. This is cool. You know, I don't mind getting into this stuff with you. Okay, put the stick down on the surface. Here's another. Don't turn all this stuff into the technique, but just be aware of some of this stuff. Okay, go ahead and put the stick down on the surface like me. Copy me. Okay, and then I've got my other hand off the stick, just for a sec, just so I can just be knacked. Just leave it alone for a sec. You bring it up. You get that totally natural, comfy grip.
That's an interesting way of setting the grip.
Yeah. But watch how natural my hand is. You barely need to do anything. Look, if you just leave your hand alone and let it hover over the stick, wouldn't it look like this? See? You know, okay, kind of like that. And then just put your hands on the stick. Yeah, don't make a big deal out of it. See, it's just resting. It's on all the tips of the fingers. Go ahead and do this, because now we're getting into it. No, keep holding it here. Go ahead and put your hand out like this. Different things on you. Yeah, let's see how I've opened up my hand. My thumb is out now. My thumb is actually to exemplify this position. I've held my thumb away. Right? You see it's laying in the hand. Let it lay in the hand like this. Now my elbow's out. Isn't it? My elbow has to be out to get this position. And I've got my hand literally like a platform underneath. Now you can let go up front. Yeah, laying on all fingers evenly. Feel it? Yeah. Now just come around and no, you see your fingers. Watch. I just leaving them alone. There. Yep. See, I saw this fishing around at the end. Look, there isn't much fishing around. I've never explained it this way, but it's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling it laying in my hand. And if I go to make a grip, I need to go into this position and it just roll there. It just rolls right into position. See, that's another. See, that looks better too. Okay, now put the stick on the surface. Go ahead with that grip. Go ahead and put the stick on the stick. Put that there, so it's real flat. There. Now I just want you to roll forward. No, your stick moved. See, you got the tip.
Okay.
Tip. Roll forward.
Yeah, the hand.
See, I'm all pronated, but the stick hasn't moved. And now come back. Roll forward. See how the hand opens up? It has to accommodate the stick not moving. So it's moving around the stick, you see? Okay, let it close. First finger and thumb don't seem to do anything but swivel. Like there's a screw running through the thumbnail and the first finger. Okay. And my wrist goes directly towards the bead, not out to the side. It goes towards the bead. Because this is swiveling this way. Look, take your other fingers off. This would just go forward. There. That's the motion. Now put your other fingers underneath, touching the stick, and make that motion as though the fingers don't change the motion. It should look just like this without the fingers. Okay, so I did this. Here, go back, take the other fingers off again. Take the other fingers, all of them. Now this is your little fulcrum for a minute because it's the only thing holding the stick. And you're going to go forward. There you go. Put the other fingers on the stick. No, they can't. They're just kind of the middle finger would be somewhat under the stick, and the other fingers would be alongside of the stick. You're pronated. You come back. There. Let the fingers open up. They'll almost be alongside of the stick. My baby finger is just alongside of the stick. Feel that? See, you can go around, you can literally go around. So you see, you're allowing the hand to do what it would normally do. It ever so slightly, I feel it opening up here. And then, so Dick would say, if you don't lead with your wrist, you can't get the bottom. The only way you can get the bottom of the bead is by leading with your wrist. Okay? So, no, you're just lifting up. It's this with a relaxed hand. So I can't clutch underneath or this. See, when I go up, down, I can feel my fingers opening and closing a little bit. Try that now. No, yeah, there you. Yeah, but now I want you to let the stick come up, but the fingers are still going to open. See, there's still a slight feeling of them moving around the stick. Yeah, but the bead has to go up. No, the bead has to go up. Sorry, the butt end has to go up. With the bead, see how my butt end is going up?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, but you're clutching. Your hand didn't open up. On the way up, my hand opens up a little bit, and the butt end goes up. And it's just laying in my hand. Feel it? Try that again. That's good. Let's keep on this tact. So remember, you can go around the stick, and the stick doesn't move at all. You know that feeling. Got to keep the stick parallel, or you can go up from the wrist and allow the fingers to open a little, and then they close a little. They go up, they open and close. Try it again. Up, let them open. Why is your baby finger not opening and closing with your hand? It's just sticking out, all tight and weird. Okay? Try it again. This is good. This is what you're not getting. Your grip looks great now. You see, your grip looks pretty normal. And you remember how the hand opens up a little bit when you go like this? Yep, let it open. So it's just laying in there. And then the hand will close as the butt end goes down. Try it again. There you go. Let it close.
Yeah, it was eluding me a little bit, but I'm getting it now.
There you go. Get that butt end to come all the way back down. All the way back down to parallel. Don't do it with your fingers. Do it from the wrist. Fingers open from the wrist. There you go. Come on. There you go. Go on up. Go on up just like that. Open. Come on down. Close. There. Go on up. Open. Lay in your hand. Close. You don't have to point your first finger to do it. You can just wrap it around comfy like that. But it's essentially that little, when it was the only thing holding, remember it was a focus. Now, yeah, allow the hand to be relaxed. See, it has to open a little. Let it open a little. There you go. Now go the other direction and make a little throw. Do not come up anymore. Just turn to the ceiling and let the arm fall. There! That was it. Okay? All right. So I just want you to now play the stroke. You're going to have to take this knowledge and spend some time with it. You know, whatever it is you got going with your Earl Grey Twinings tea, or whether the Molson Canadian.
No.
You know, only the Canadians get it. So, right? So those are the things that your grip already looks better. Okay? So just go ahead and put the metronome on. Let's give you a tempo.
What are we looking at?
Well, I'm giving you a tempo. Well, Let's try this. Let's play this quarter notes. It's going to be so slow you might not even feel much of an up and down stroke. We'll see.
What time is it?
40.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, I want it to be a little faster. Put it up to put it at 60. Right at 60.
And the eighth note will equal 60?
And we're going to be playing it as quarter notes. Okay?
Yeah, yeah. The eighth note equals 60 as a quarter. Okay. Each stroke is a quarter note.
You really have to get that parallel position. You have to memorize. See that your left forearm is more pointed down than your right. Your forearms don't look the same. Why? Might be the camera. A little better. Paint and fan. Paint and fan.
Do you want me to alternate it?
But I want you to, well, the paint and fan does alternate. It doesn't just go one way, ever.
Yeah.
But what I want you to concentrate on is, remember how we just kind of like, we were in parallel and we just dropped the stick down? Yeah, you see, I really, if you can get this, it'll really be how you're clutching your back. See when you go up, you clutch your back fingers. Do that again. Go on up. Hey, see, I can see you pulling your back fingers. Remember what?
No, I'm not pulling right now.
What you learned was they actually open up. Ah. So now the stick is floating, so to speak, in the hand. Lying in the hand. Okay, so that's better. Now your hand looks much more normal. You don't have your plus sign. There you go. I bet you could make a throw right from there. Come back. Come back down. Not bad. Don't lift anymore. Don't get the arm involved, but not bad. So now what we're going to do is for your upstroke, I just want you, it's a tiny little note. I just want you to bend forward. I don't want you lifting up to the ceiling right now. Get it? No, it doesn't go up. Touch your finger and go up in a real fast way. Just goes up a little. No up. Just goes up this much. Just go up a little. Too much. And don't tighten up your back fingers when you do. Just let it fall and let the hand go up. There you even too much. They need to come up. That's all it is. It's remember how little it took for you to notice your fingers separating from the third knuckles? You barely need to move. It's a lot less than you think. Don't make this a big ordeal with a tight hand. It's just a little flick. Try it again. Too much. Tightening the back of the hand too. Until there. That's all you're going to need to go up. So just go up like that. Faint. And don't lift the arm up anymore. Get ready to come down. Going up. Faint. Come up somewhat. There you go. That was. Don't coming up too much. Coming up too much. Yeah, move half that much. The hand relax when you go up. Move half that much. Half that much. Tiny. Too much. Too much. Better. Almost too much, and let the hand relax. Don't go with your plus sign. All right. That little bend is about making your hand relax. There. A little better. It'll be easier to throw. You'll be able to feel the throw because everything is working. All the fulcrums are countervailing. Better. Don't come up that much. You'll spoil it. There. That's all you need to do. Then turn your wrist to the ceiling if you want power. Just barely come up and then turn your wrist to the ceiling. There. There. Just barely come up and turn your...
Do you want me to come up this?
Yeah, if you're looking for power, I don't want you to get it like this. Or I want you to look. It's just a wrist turn. It's a wrist turn. You just need to come up a little bit. And then turn your wrist. I'm yelling like Dick Wilson. Come up too much. No, don't lift your arm up.
Okay.
Show me your wrist turn. Show me your wrist turn. Just your wrist turn. Come on down here and just do this. There. That's what I want you to feel on the way down. Now do what you do.
Right.
Come on. Yes, shove your arm with it. Make sure you get that arm in. That's what you want to do. I don't want that. I want it to feel like this, like no arm. So you just get this little bend, and then there you go. See, you can get power turning your wrist. No, you don't have to come up a lot. So that you barely need to do anything. Because you could get an accent without even coming up. So just come up a little and turn your wrist. There, now turn your wrist. And don't shove down. Better. But don't shove down and come up less. You don't want to come up too much. It's less than that. All you want to do is get that feeling of everything relaxing. No, too much.
Okay. It's subtle. There.
There you go. There you go. You've come up. Now turn your wrist to the ceiling and let it fall. There you go. If you don't come up too much, you won't be able to shove down. Right now, that's a good way to help you not shove with your forearm. Go for it again. Play it again. There you go. Don't come up as much as you think. Barely. Too much. Don't come up too much. I want you to now turn your wrist. There. Turn your wrist now. Kevin, you're not going to turn your wrist. You're not going to turn your wrist, Kevin. Turn your wrist. Turn your wrist. Okay, better. See, you don't need to get the arm involved. Now, go both ways and let's play this. Let's play this feint and flam. Not moving too much, keeping everything in mind. I know there's a lot. Less you move, the more benefit you'll get because you'll be taking advantage of the lever system. Don't shove your arm. There you go. There you go. See, the forearm really moves. Tiny. There you go. Better. Okay. Better. All right. Yeah. So, you see, this is a really good example of less being more.
That's right.
Right? And so, in this sense, see, you don't get to feel this. See, you don't feel anything. You know, if I got you playing and you went through some strokes, you would be doing some of this stuff and not even knowing it. See, this is just how the body really does work.
It is, and the way I had learned some of this previously when I was studying with Jim is that he really had me exaggerate, because that's where I think, because I know we're economizing the motions, which is really cool, but I think that's where that pulling away from the pad came.
Hey,
yeah.
I've been there. I told you I've been there. Right? We all came up through different teachers. Even Murray Spivack came up through a teacher, and he said, "No, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Why would I do all this?" Okay, here's Dick Wilson. Kevin, you really think that, because he was a virtuoso violinist, played Carnegie Hall Brahms violin concerto at the age of 9. He said, "So when I'm going to play forte on a violin, I'm going to go like this?" You've got to be kidding me. You don't play another instrument that way. Playing loud doesn't mean suddenly you get tight and have to force. It's part of the natural. It's part of the natural motion. Part of the natural motion, right? So if we want to play loud, we can play loud. But it doesn't mean playing loud doesn't mean that we have to start to force. All we have to do is turn our watch higher, and higher, and higher, and higher. See, I didn't get tight. The stick is still just laying in my hand. Here's just an example of I got loud without forcing, and similarly, I can play a little note, I can play a little throat. Never going to get tight. What? the big strike on the drum. Okay? And of course, we could blow that up further. But that's forte. This is a little pianissimo throw. This is a forte throw. Up, down, up, down. And as Murray would say, you're so close to the surface, you can't help but touch it. It's the same motion as my throw. Up, down, 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 up, down. And there's no tightness. Okay, that's what we're going for. As much relaxation as possible. And if there's no tightness, guess what? And it's much better. If there's no tightness, that's when you start to feel nothing.
That's right.
Okay? That's good.
Feel nothing.
Yeah, you had to go all the way to LA to learn how to feel. What did your teacher teach? What did you learn? Nothing.
Okay, I'll set the metronome again. I'll do this again.
I'm gonna stop the recording. That was a good job.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should put a bow on that. Let's not try to farm any more unnecessary engrams. Okay? I think you've got what you need right now.
Okay.